Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Authors Up, your favorite place to be on Sunday evening. I know it is our favorite place to be, and I just hope that you mark your calendar, put us on your timeline, get us in your schedule so that you won't miss a thing that happens on Sunday evening. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I'm here with my cohorts, compadres, amigos.
We glad to.
We ready.
Yeah, we ready.
And I'm going to give you ladies an opportunity to say what you want to say to welcome everybody to the program tonight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
And you, Miss Ruth?
Again, welcome. Thank you for being here. You're the reason why we're here. So,
yes.
Yeah, welcome.
Indeed. And we didn't talk about this beforehand, but Ruth, I'm going to ask that you kind of lead us into the discussion tonight. Let everybody know exactly what it is we're doing in this segment, because we usually have a guest and we usually talk to that guest about the books that they have written and what our take is on the book and the story. But we've got something a little different going on tonight, and we want to talk to you about it, you out there in podcast land, and we're just going to enjoy. We're going to enjoy what we have to share tonight. We usually do, so that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Start our evening as we always do, and that is with our weekend review. And I can start off. I had a productive week.
Good.
But I had a good health-wise week. You all have been keeping up with my health journey, which has been an interesting one, up and down, and lots of things going on with that. But I went to see my cardiologist. I think that it looks like they have finally gotten the medication where it needs to be. Thank you, God, for that.
Amen.
And in addition to that, the thing that was most encouraging to me was that I don't have to have a cardiology appointment for 6 months.
Awesome.
Awesome. I've been going back and forth, seems like almost twice a week, with trying one thing or another and side effects and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. But not that I don't love my cardiologist, but I am.
You're probably tired of seeing them.
Exactly.
For 6 months, so that's a good thing, and I really hope that the side effects will subside, so that I won't have that to worry about. So everybody's getting healthier, and I am glad about it. And that was big news there. Had some not so good news on the other side, but the only thing I will say about that is God is still on the throne. He is still God. I am glad that I can talk to him when I can't talk to anybody else.
Well,
and, hey, don't start, don't start. I might have to pick them up and put them down.
Well.
She went back there. Crazy. So that was pretty much my week. And what about you, Victoria? What's going on in the victorious world?
Ah, woo. Like you, still challenges with my knee, which is still very swollen and hurting like crazy tonight. But we just going, still bless the name of the Lord anyway.
Anyway,
I saw my doctor Friday, so he's going to send me to another ortho guy. I found out, this is about hidden things. Sometimes, a PSA announcement. I found out that I have benefit through my health insurance, Aetna, through a whole nother branch called Lantern. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that, but through Lantern, I can go to the orthopedic doctor that they could do shots, physical therapy, all that. All of that's covered under this program, which is already built into my insurance. So I've been going to the orthopedic doctor through Duke, paying $80 every time I go as a copay. So now under Lantern, I won't have to pay anything.
woohoo!
It means I'm going to have to see that doctor and sort of start from scratch, so to speak. But it's going to be a better option than going to where I was going. And so he gave me something for the pain and said, well, I'll just let you be under their care. I don't want to give you a shot, even though I was ready to put my knee out. Shoot it, hun. But he felt like he didn't want to do anything because in case those doctors decide to do anything else, he didn't want the cortisone to, stand in the way if he needed surgery, or that would just hold up the process. So I was just grateful to find out that I'm already covered. How about that? That's the word.
Covered in more ways than one, girl.
Covered. Didn't even know it, but I'm covered. And so I really took that to heart as a spiritual lesson. Wow, Lord, just thank you for making a way when I didn't even know there was a way. So I was grateful for that. And another big thing is I was able to put my cover to my book out on social media because my wonderful editor and publisher was able to get that out to me. We worked through it, and it has been receiving a lot of accolades. And, if everybody's reacting to it. So until it's published every month, like once a month, I'm going to do a little teaser to it. Right there was a cover. And then, I might do a little video about the book. I might do a little video about the process, just a little teaser leading up to it. So I'm excited about that. I really am excited. So, so I had some good things. And I'm in a new business. We'll talk about that another time too. But just making some strides in the new business. I'm marching into a new season, and I'm just happy about it.
All right.
That was it for me.
And you, Ms. Ruth, what's up, lady?
So let's see. I am currently splitting my time with working on all my fun stuff. So the covers, the writing, all of that is that is my happy space. I have finished the first draft of The Writer Within. Finally.
All right.
I started editing it, so I'm going to have it to you guys hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And I have like this whole big plan around it, which I'm excited about. I have the cover, which I'm going to put out for the first volume of Stepmothers Anonymous, which hopefully that one will be out in the next couple of weeks. I actually have the line art for the second volume, and I am so excited. I can't even express how excited I am. But I'm up to chapter 30 of the serial novel. Can you imagine? 30, chapter 30. I only have 100 more chapters left to go. So, and that's the thing. Look, only because like the more I go into it, I'm like, oh, I need to add more detail. Because again, this is, it's a slow burn. Being episodic, I mean, think about it. The symptoms have been on for 30 years. I think almost 30 years.
Is that right?
Yes. My kids watch, and they have put me onto Bob's Burgers. I absolutely adore this show.
That's
It has been
Gracie's
on for
show. That's Gracie's show.
16 years.
Gracie loves
What
that
is that?
show.
So Bob's Burgers, I have to tell
Oh,
you about it because yeah,
okay.
it is a great show.
Got the
But
calendar, stickers all around. She
oh yeah,
loves Bob's Burgers.
oh yeah, no, and I mean, think about it. Like all the soap operas that we used to watch, or stories,
True.
those are 60 plus years.
True.
So episodic storytelling takes time. And even though I started with, oh, it's only going to be 103 chapters, to do it right, I have finally found my flow, and it's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it would be. But I am excited.
Did you say it was only going to be?
Only, yes, only. See, and the funny part is that I originally started with just 10 chapters when I wrote the book originally.
Right.
And then when speaking to my editor, she's like, well, just my first editor, she was like, well, you need to break it up a little bit more. And I'm like, all right, how about 33 chapters? And then looking at it now going, yeah, that's not going to be enough. So, but I'm loving the process. So that's my happy space. My not so happy space is that all this stuff back here and the rest of the house is now going to need to be packed.
Oh, wow.
Moving.
So yeah, we'll be moving soon. But we have to put the house on the market, and yeah, we've been here 20 years. That's a lot of stuff.
You found a new place already?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so it's a process.
Yes, it is a process. So we are just getting stuff in order, and that requires boxes. I have boxes behind me. I'm choosing to give you a happy visual here.
Yes.
But down there, not so much. So,
I understand.
yeah. So that's been my week, and it's going to be my week going forward.
Right. I was getting ready to say that. Yes, the rest of this year, you're going to be packing and moving and unpacking and all of it, all of the things.
Yeah, and not even the rest of this year. Probably in the next couple of months.
Oh,
that's
wow.
what they mean. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, but not next week, because next week I'm going to go see Little Miss Missy.
Birthday girl.
Yeah. So yeah, so that has been my week, and next week I'll have photos.
Yay!
And videos. So, yes.
We love it.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whether you love it or not, I'm going to be sharing the pictures anyway. So
we have no choice, but we do love it. Just so
yes,
you know.
yeah, no, I get it. So you have no choice, but I do understand. Yeah. So
Tonight.
I guess, yes. Anybody want to give me an introduction?
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm not going to do it. I think everybody who joins Authors Up is familiar with the talented Ruth Griffin. She is.
We have some new people. Hi, Jacqueline.
Writer. She is an excellent writer. She is an excellent publisher. She is creative. Her creativity knows no limits and has no bounds. She is a wonderful person to work with. She has been a part of Authors Up since the very beginning. She keeps us straight. Victoria always needs help in that area, and I need help, period. So,
amen.
Wow. Okay.
my help area is not limited; it's everywhere. But Ruth is our backbone, and I'm being very serious when I say that now, Ruth. You are so gifted and so on point in what you do, and your ability to do it in excellence without making anybody feel pressured or making anybody feel that they cannot do it. You have a way to uplift and encourage in the writing world, and we appreciate you. We do appreciate everything that you do. And you have put us in this space of not just interviewing authors, but taking us back into the world of the book club.
Right.
And I'll turn it over to you now and just tell you, thank you, ma'am.
Amen. Amen. That was a wonderful introduction. You
Did I
did a
do
good
good?
job.
Did I
Yes. And all true. All true.
Thank you. Thank you. That wasn't quite what I meant, but I do appreciate the accolades. So, because tonight's not about me. Tonight is actually about us. We're going to be doing, we decided last year that we were going to start our own little book club.
Right.
So, we kind of, we are expanding a little bit from our theme from last year. And we were actually going to discuss this book last year, but we didn't get the opportunity. So this is our first book of the year, and I feel like it is fitting for what 2026 represents, I think. So our book, and I don't have it with me, it is called, hold on. The Organized, maybe move back a little bit. Maybe not. Okay.
No, I got the blur on. I think I got the blur on. That's what it is. The Organized Writer.
Yes, The Organized Writer by Antony Johnston.
Yeah.
And I picked this book because I actually heard him on a podcast for another author that I was following, and he talked about how, because he is a full-time writer, and I don't think he's a comic book artist, but he's a full-time writer and in the writing business. And he organized himself, created a system for himself to help him keep his business in order. So, when we said we were going to discuss book, when we said let's do book club, these were the type of books I wanted to bring to the forefront. Not just, we love reading. That's a given. We wouldn't be doing this 7 years.
That's right.
But when you think about being an author as a business,
right.
I feel like that's where most authors kind of not fail, but they may feel like, ugh, I don't want to do this part. So that is, when I read the book, I want to say that it helped me greatly, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I thought that it would benefit, us talking about it, and us, discussing what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and all of the things. If you guys are in a book club, if any of our audience is in a book club, that is the purpose of our show tonight, and that is the purpose of our book club shows going forward. So, yeah, so that's why I chose the book, and I will say, I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed his advice. I thought, I was able to implement it for myself, because when I read it the first time, I was in a spot where I was like, okay, I want to build my business, my writing and publishing business. How do I do that? Because it's not just a matter of, oh, get a business plan. Oh, get a checking account. Oh, get an accountant. Here you go. Okay, so how do I handle the rest of it? Because you have writing schedules, you have business schedules, you have meetings, you have all of that. How do you fit that all together? And I feel like he answered those questions, and he answered them in a way that, for me, I'm Gen X, so I was born in the analog world, but now I developed in the digital world. So I learned both early on enough.
Right.
So a lot of his systems is analog, but he also recommends digital where necessary. So I felt like his advice was very, it was open and it was interpretable. It was, anybody could take it. So whether you're Gen Z or Gen X or Boomer, you could find something in the book that will help you. So that was my take on it. Like I said, I was able to implement a lot of it, there was maybe a chapter or two where I was like, oh, okay, this is good advice, but I'm not necessarily going to use it.
Right,
And
right.
then I was able to move on. So what did you guys think?
I just want to say this. I am so glad that you brought that out about the business part of being an author, because even though I have my 2 books out already, I don't think I've taken that part seriously. Like,
Mhm.
it is a business. It is an income generating thing for me. And how do I handle that? I sort of been going on like, oh, la la la, sell a book here, there, sell a book, give away 5, and that's it. But for you to mention that tonight, as we all are talking about, publishing a new book this year, I think we have to take the business side of it a little bit more seriously. And I think I do have to be more organized. So I found the book was, like you said, there's some things I probably won't do, but I found the one of the biggest things that I liked was the clean mind theory, where he talked
Okay.
about, putting things out of your mind, because I find that I get easily distracted. I'll sit down to write, and then the phone will ring and I'll talk, or I'll scroll. I find myself scrolling, and then I won't finish the thought. And so I thought, like, I like the clean mind theory, and the FASTN, the acronym he used. We'll talk about that a little later. But the acronym that he used to get things going. And I admit that I didn't finish the whole book, so I'm sure there are some other things that I like, but I liked what I read so far, and I think that I will be able to use some of it in my own personal life. Filing. I've got papers everywhere, and I've just got to do better about putting things where I could find them again, or discarding things that I don't need. So I think in that way, this organized writing book is really going to help me if I implement the things. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and I have to say, you brought back the clean mind. I thought that was that's not something we often think about.
Right.
You hear writers say, "Oh, I keep a notebook by my bed or whatnot." And he's like, "No, keep a notebook with you." He's like, "You can use your phone, but just realize that there's distractions on it. Find the method that works for you." And that's what he said. He carries a notebook around, so when that thought pops in, he puts it into the notebook so he can think about other stuff and just go back to the
Yes.
notebook later. And I thought,
Right.
why is this the first time I'm hearing this?
And it's so simple, right? It's
Explained
so
it like that.
simple.
So, and to me, I've started, that was the very first thing I started implementing.
Really.
Um, and
You
I
will
grew,
journal all the time. That didn't really come to your mind before you read it, because you journal. You said, told us before, you have all these journals and you write down. But do you journal at the end of the day versus right in the beginning of the day?
no, so I journal at the beginning of the day,
Okay.
and then if I have space, I will add it in. But the thing is, you sit there and you try to go. Um, so for me, and I think he did make note of this. For me, like I said, I am Gen X. I grew up analog, and I'm one of the part of this population that went, ooh, technology. Let me jump on
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Mm-hmm.
I have had more tablets in my life than probably all my kids have now. I have the smartphone. Oh, it's charging over there. I have a
Okay.
smartphone. I have a phone. I have a computer. I have a tab. All of that. And the thing is, there
Okay.
was a point in my life where I was like, I'm going to go completely digital.
Really?
And that was a mistake for me because I started forgetting a lot of stuff. And that was a point that he made because he's like, if you write it down,
It
number
gets it.
one, yeah,
You
it
processing
helps,
it.
yeah, it helps you retain that information. But he was, with the clean mind, he was like, well, that way you won't have to struggle to remember it because it will now be on paper
Exactly.
and you can come back later. So that, when he said all that, that's what made it click for me. So now I do carry, a tablet with me, but I do look at it later and go, oh, okay, I wanted to write this down. Like, when you guys were talking earlier, I was like, ooh, I need to write something down so that I can journal about it later. And
Okay.
to me, that has been invaluable advice.
Wow.
So
I think I really need to start doing that because I'm finding that I'm having dreams that are very vivid. And I think that first thing in the morning, I should write them down when I
Mhm.
have them because I found that, well, in the book that I have coming out, some of it were dreams that I remembered
Mhm.
and I wrote them into the story. So I think it's really important to write these things down as soon as you have them because you tend to forget them, especially dreams. But
yeah.
what I had last night, I dreamt I had two more babies, so I don't think I'll
Oh
forget
no, don't write that one down.
that. But I don't forget that one either. But I actually did. I dreamt I had another baby. I was like, what? I must have took some drugs before I went to sleep. I don't know where that came from. But we will not be writing that into the story. But but it's just important
No.
to write them down. Stop laughing, Andrea.
I can't even imagine. I can't. I can't. I can't
No,
even.
ma'am.
Mm.
Okay, what you think, Andrea?
Well, for me, there are a couple of things. Well, more than a couple of things.
Stop laughing, Linda. Linda laughing at me too.
A lot of. I like the way that it was sectioned off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And get organized, and then write, and then the non-writing stuff. This is one of the few books that I think we have tapped into in this vein because we've had the profitable author, we've had Luxpreneur, we've had a lot of books that I'm not going to say that they're how-to books, but they, have expanded our knowledge in getting things done and being productive and all of that. But this is the first one that I can remember that said the first thing you want to do is read the whole book from cover to cover.
Mhm.
Because most of the time, it's a pick the area, read that area, study that area, and then wherever you are led or wherever you think you need it, then go to that space, take care of that. So that was the thing that was different. He said, and I think it was three reads. I think that he went through that first one from cover to cover, and then going back and to set up a system, and then I think there was a third part to it.
Mhm.
Maybe it was application and implementation of it. But I thought that was interesting. There was something that he said, and I don't know where he said it in the book, but he talked about things being relevant to you and compatible with your life.
Mm.
Relevant to you and compatible with your life. And that stood out for me because we've talked a lot about the fact that we get this good information, but if we don't apply it,
Mhm.
it's just more good information. I
Ooh.
like the thing about the clean mind theory because what he was pointing out, or at least the way that I took it, was that you once you write it down, once you do whatever you do with that dream or that thought or that idea, whatever you have, once you do that, you can let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You don't have to think about it all day long. It doesn't have to stay on your mind, which things tend to do if you're not in that clear mind theory space. So I like that. I think that the book is good uh, for anyone who's on this journey called life.
Right.
Not just the
Right.
writing journey, but the life journey.
Right.
Because there are so many things. It was just encouraging to me to hear him say, um, pick a thing. What's the one thing? What's the task that you're going to work on, right now? The pick one. I think he said one a day or whatever. Have that focus on the one thing. And I think for years now we have been in multitask mode.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's
Right.
that, and you got to do that, and don't let 1 minute slip by where you're not, doing something, and we've become bombarded with that. So it was nice to hear him say, figure out what the thing is that you're going to work on. What's that big thing that you're going to do, and concentrate on getting that done. and have the plan to get that done. Um, will I set up a system? I don't know.
Okay.
I know that as a writer, I am not at the place that he was because writing is not my living. And I
Right.
don't think it is ever going to be, but it does not mean that I cannot use what's in the book. And it
Right.
doesn't mean that I cannot still produce things that are insightful, inspirational, whatever, because that's my genre. That's my contribution to the world. That's what I do. But I there's information there that I still need because I what I am writing, I'm not writing just for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
I'm,
Right.
I'm writing to share it with the world. So there are things within there while I don't think I need them now. I will need, and I do need to understand, and I do need to be in a posture where I am doing things in the most productive and efficient way possible, according to what is relevant to me,
For you.
compatible with my life. I can't do it. I can't set it up like Ruth, and I can't
Right.
set it up like you.
Don't set it up like me. Don't set it up like me.
We all operate differently, and we
Right. Right.
have different goals with what we are putting down on paper or in our notebooks or wherever we choose to put the information. So is it good? Yeah. Is it helpful? Yeah. But I think it is also one that you almost have to, for me anyway, compatibility of my life, I'd have to treat it like a class.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. It's personal. Yeah, it's personal.
And I will have to go back. And when I read it the second time, then I'm going to have to see, what I can apply and what I need to
To
apply
apply.
for where I am and where I'm trying to go right now. So is it worthwhile? I think it's absolutely worthwhile. Whether you are writing full-time, script writing, doodling, whatever it is that you're doing, if there's a message or a story that you are trying to put out there, and even if there's not, there are just things in this book about organization, period,
Yes.
that I
Yes.
that it would be helpful to anybody,
Right.
So yeah, that's my, I'm not sure that I would do a Victoria and say, run out and get the book. But
I would. I would. I would.
if
I
you
would.
want to,
I would.
and
I would say get the
I
book.
think it's worthy.
I think. But I have something I want to ask you. Y'all know how I ask my little buddy for little questions. So I have a question from my list of questions I want to ask you guys and see what you think. Do you think is that there's a risk that too much structure can stifle your creativity?
Say
Yes,
so.
I do think so,
Mm-hmm.
but it depends on the person.
Okay.
So, um, for me, I need that structure.
Okay.
I am understanding how my brain functions, and if I don't have all of that, and maybe that's why the book resonated as much as it did with me, because it
Mm-hmm.
gave me that structure from the clean mind to the filing system. I
Yes.
implemented the filing system, but what
Okay.
I'm discovering now is as my business is shifting, I don't necessarily need the process, I just need the principle of that. So I need to keep my projects in this place where I'm going to be able to see them, because he recommended, and he actually gave a copy of his worksheet that he applies to every folder
Right.
so that you can see where the project is at all times.
Oh, I
I
love
need that principle. I don't
Yes.
necessarily need the actual folders.
Sheet. Okay.
So, yeah, so the folder sheet. So for me, I absolutely need that structure.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be able to say, because the other thing that struck me was he was like, block off your time. This is
Mm-hmm.
your business now. So he showed, copies of his calendar. In the morning he does this, in the afternoon he said block it off. You're gonna do emails, block that time off.
Right.
So all of that structure is important to me. Now again, I'm shifting my business, so I've had to go, okay, does this need to be on my calendar anymore? No. So we'll shift it, and I'll do what, I'll update it as I need to. But for the wrong person, that structure will stifle them. But that person needs to understand how much structure they need.
Got
So
you.
if you're a free spirit, a unicorn, I know an author who has written 130 books, but she will just sit down and go, la-di-da-di-da, and she'll just type. And she'll work on 3 books at the same time. She will not have an outline. She will nothing. She'll just sit down and go, what is the character telling me?
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, but she's written 130 books. And I actually like some of her stories. I'm like, okay, it works for her.
Yeah.
That system, the Organized Writer, it would kill her
creativity.
flow.
Yeah.
So as a writer and as a person, you need to have an understanding of how you flow to determine if that kind of structure works for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That relevant to you and compatible with your life, you know, just really, it takes on more weight and more importance as you say that. He brings out something in the book too about quantity and not time. And I think that falls into that structure piece as well, Ruth, because you can, it's the difference between the template and the structured, detailed outline.
Mm.
The Roman numeral 1A, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
That is over structured, overly structured for some people, but the template says, this is the big question, and you can answer it however you choose to answer it in there. There's room in there. There's some flexibility in there. Like we have a template for every show, but it doesn't tell you exactly what to do with everything, every point that we're trying to make and everything that we're trying to get said. So I think it still goes back to that, compatibility. What is it that works for you? There's sometimes I need that structure. There's sometimes that I need to sit down and say, this week I have to do A, B, C, D, and E. It's like I've learned that when I do Substack, when I do the videos and everything, I do them in a day. I have chosen the pieces that I'm going to record. I have chosen the newsletter piece that I am going to write. And that day, that's what I focus on. I don't give myself a time to get it done. But I know this is what I'm going to record. This is how I'm going to record it. And I can send the whole batch then to the Substack editor guru. She has everything that she needs to get it done. I didn't always do that. I might do a piece today and I might do another piece tomorrow. And then I've got to set up over here and then I've got to restructure over there. And you know what I'm saying? But so that structure for me works with that.
Right.
It may not work for everything.
Right. That's interesting. Let me see. Do I have any other questions here? Now he talked about, and our resident guru had told us this years ago. And the question was, do you separate drafting and editing or blend them together?
I better not blend them together.
We know the answer to that.
Exactly. When I saw that question, I said, I'm gonna make them laugh with that one. Because she was right on point. No, right. No. Edit later, right.
Right.
Indeed.
There's a question. What habits protect your writing time from administration and distraction? So what habits have you put in place? And it could be from this book and not. What habits have you put in place that protect your writing time from your administration duties or being distracted?
I mean, we're still being distracted, so I don't know that we have any habits yet.
Exactly.
But I mean, we're trying. And then the biggest thing, and I know he talked about it, was protecting that flow. Once you're in that flow, that to me is the time you want to protect, because I will have a space where I'm like, all right, I gotta write. Okay, I gotta sit down. All right, I gotta read what I last wrote to continue writing forward. And then it's just like, but once you get in that flow, you're like, okay, I have my headphones on, so I can't hear the TV.
Yeah.
If I need to, I shut that door. I will just do what I need to do until, the flow slows down. So, and the other part of that is like, he talked about blocking off the time, understanding. I have been able to say, now that I understand, because I write serially. So every week I know that on Thursday I am posting a chapter.
Yes.
And I know that it takes me 7 hours, because I have everything outlined already. It takes me at least 7 hours, or up to, 7 to 8 hours to write, edit, and finalize the chapter so that I can post it. I've given myself Wednesday is my writing day.
Okay.
Thursday, I read, edit, finalize, and post.
Okay.
So that, to me, that is how I have guarded that time. Now, will I be up at around 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday writing? Sometimes. But it's still Wednesday. So, it just depends on, what the day looks like. So, but that's how, those are the things that I've done today.
What about you, Andrea? Do you have a habit that you do when you sit down to write that keeps you?
Not one I can share. and we're gonna leave that right there.
Well, I'm gonna say, for me, I've learned what doesn't work. I should not put on the TV, especially if it's a series that I'm watching. Don't put on a series, because I'm gonna be focused on that. I need to turn the TV off, and also my phone, because I get distracted real easy. Mm-hmm. And music helps, but it can't be gospel, because I'll go in a praise in a minute. I'll be so busy praising, I'm not concentrating what I need to do. But do you guys set a writing time? Now, Ruth just said you do that for that project, but when we did the nano, the Write More, I would try to get up in the mornings, and I found that didn't work. And then I'll try to do it sometimes before I go to bed. That sometimes didn't work. So I was like all over the place. So do you do that now? Do you guys do a set time other than your Wednesday, Thursday routine, Ruth?
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I do that for some things, like I was talking about. I'll set the day aside for the Substack thing. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, when you talk about a flow and all of that, I write from that thought.
Okay.
From that thought. And I think I have shared that I was in a meeting when I first really kind of seriously understood where my writing was coming from. I was in a meeting and I was trying to take notes for the meeting, and instead I wrote, "At the corner of confusion and disappointment drive lived a solitary soul filled with anger, hurt, and pride."
Wow.
And I sat there and thought, okay, you know what?
That was a real deep thought in that meeting.
What am I supposed to do? So I am definitely in that block of people that
Yeah.
when that idea comes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to move on it then. So whether
Yes.
Mhm.
it's 4 o'clock in the morning or whether it's 9 o'clock at night or whatever it happens to be, because if I don't, I lose it. I
Yeah.
will definitely lose it and I cannot get it back. And I sat down, I kept trying to finish it. And that's the other thing. I can't, it either has to flow with me or I can't complete it.
Mhm.
I sat down and I put all kinds of things and I put it together and I finally just sat down and said, okay, for me, this is divine inspiration. And if
Mm-hmm.
you want me to finish it, you got to tell me what to say.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
believe it or not, it just flowed,
Mhm.
and that's how most of most of my pieces are. I'm not so much in, and I'm getting better with, I think I am anyway. I like the idea of the what's it called, Ruth, the short novel, the
Oh, the microfiction?
yes, micro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be my thing as far as writing, uh,
Uh-huh.
that way. I will never have 130 chapters of anything.
I
That's
don't know about that. I don't know
I do.
about
I
that.
do. I'm pretty sure.
You
I
might get in the flow and surprise yourself.
no, I don't think so. but I think, and you know what though, I'm glad you said that, Victoria, because we have to understand where we are.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to
Hmm.
be comfortable with the gift that we have
Right.
and know that
Right.
there is a place for it.
Right.
I am in awe a lot of times with Ruth, and Ruth, I don't know how many words it was on that NaNoWriMo. Was it 1,000 words a night? No, what, 16
1661. Yes.
1661 a night. And Ruth said that thing like she was saying, and then I'm gonna fix a peanut butter sandwich. You know,
Right. And I
I
was
heard
struggling with 500 words. I was
I
struggling.
heard 1661 and I thought, that's a lot, But
That's a
for
lot of
her,
words.
it was just, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that. We can do that. That's fine. So you have to know and understand where you are,
Right.
in the scope of what you're gonna do with the gift that he's given you and
Yeah.
how you are going to use it. I think what I will implement, and I know we gotta watch the time, but I
Oh,
think
yeah. Oh,
what
wow.
I don't think I know that what I'm going to implement immediately is going to not just be the notes, but to get that block together. You know,
Okay.
what am I going to focus on?
Mm-hmm.
Whether I set
Mm-hmm.
it up to be, 5 hours today and 2 hours on Wednesday or whatever, just stay in my, this week, this is what I am going to complete.
I agree.
And I think that's going to be my biggest help in segmenting and structuring that way, so that I don't leave anything out or feel like I'm in that procrastination
Thank you, Mo.
place.
Well, I'm still gonna say get the book. If
Get
you
the book.
you want to get more organized in your life, even as a writer, or they're just some practical things to put in place, period. And,
Mhm.
and and of course our show tonight couldn't tell you everything, but I recommend this book. I think it's a good book.
I think it
Mhm.
is too. I think it is too. And does anybody have any final words for this evening?
That was my final.
That was your final, Ruth.
That was
You
my
have
final, Alex.
No, I gonna say that my opinion is the same as Victoria's, and I would say that when you're ready, get the book. Because again, if I had gotten this book 10 years ago, it would have just
Oh,
sat
wow.
collecting dust on my shelf. It wasn't until I was ready to
Hmm.
move on the business aspect of being an author, being a publisher, that this book became valuable to me. So, and it's the same thing with the Profitable Author and all the other books. It's we don't collect books just to collect them.
Right.
They're not valuable to you until you crack them open and read what's in them.
Amen.
And again, if you're not ready for it, if you're not ready for it, just do what he says. Write it down somewhere, put it up on a sticky, put it somewhere until you're ready to get the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for this evening. I thank everybody for joining us. Jacqueline, thank you for being with us today. Linda Cooks, thank you for being in the house today. And Kate, thank you so much for being our YouTube buddy. And we just want to tell you it doesn't work without you. It doesn't work without you. So we invite you when we get ready to do another book for the book club. Join us. Get a copy of it. Read it so you can comment on it as well. And we have another great show planned for next week. We got a great author and a great book. I'm sure it's going to be one that you will enjoy listening to as our author shares. And that's all. That's all we've got. If you want to know anything more about us or how we do what we do and whether you want to participate on another level, go to authorsupshow.com. Send us a little note. Let us know how you feel and how you're thinking, and all things good, all things writing, all things reading. And we just appreciate who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table with Authors Up. We will do a replay of the show on Saturday night at 7 p.m. If there's someone that you think would benefit from this who was not with us this Sunday night, let them know and point them to ALH Broadcasting 7 p.m. on Saturday for the replay, and then come on back on Sunday night, 7 p.m. right here. You never, ever, ever know what's going to happen when you tune into Authors Up.
Sure enough.
Miss it. Join us. Thank you so much. Have an absolutely amazing week. And we hopefully will see you next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Good night, ladies.
Good night. Good night, Bronze.